champ of the week. Dr. Pepper for keeping that curse alive.
Let's go, Dr. Pepper. All
right, enter the Arch Manning era. All right, so a lot of y'all, I don't know if y'all are familiar with the Dr. Pepper curse, but there have been 4 quarterbacks that have been the face of Dr. Pepper since the NIL deal. The first one, the famous or infamous DJU, quarterback at Florida State. After his great game at Notre Dame, coming off the bench for Trevor Lawrence, everybody thought he was going to be the next great college quarterback. Coming out of California the same year as Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud, was the first Dr. Pepper winner and is now at his 3rd university and is 0-3. All right, the second guy, I believe it was Bryce Young. And Bryce Young had a Heisman Trophy season, ended up not only not repeating winning the Heisman, not making the college football playoff, going number 1 over C.J. Stroud when everybody knew that he wasn't playing better than C.J. Stroud at that point. And now he's just got benched. Curse? Maybe. We'll see. All right, Caleb Williams. We saw him crying in that game. You can't take that film away. We seen it. Yeah. We seen it.
It's out there.
And, it's like, and I didn't even notice your fingernails was painted until I saw you covering your face crying.
I would never have known if he hadn't cried.
I would have never known. I would have never known. All right. And now we got Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers, I don't know. The more I look at it, it looks like a phantom rib injury.
I think it is.
It might be. It might not be. But they done unleashed the beast in Arch Manning. Arch Manning, what he did, that juke he put on, up. It was pretty slick. Wow. I think Quinn Ewers has over 20 starts in his college career right now, and he only has 1 4-touchdown game. Arch Manning has a 5-touchdown game, y'all, in 3 quarters.
He had 2 touchdowns in 3 plays.
Yeah. So what'd we say? Yeah, he went all Derek Carr on him, didn't he? That shouldn't be a thing.
I don't like the sound of it even.
And the best part about it is that it's not a separate system that they have for the 2 different quarterbacks. He just comes in cold and just plays the Sarkisian system to the T.
I just think, congratulations for all the pressure, all the hype. This is like watching LeBron. You know what I'm saying? As far as the coverage and they've tried their hardest to keep him out of the spotlight.
Yeah.
But he did it himself this weekend, and he put on a show. That touchdown run was amazing. Those throws were amazing. Yeah. And I like that he has Peyton Manning's willingness to make a ugly throw because he knows it's quick in there. They don't all have to be pretty. Like I always said, the only time I ever saw Peyton Manning throw darts a whole season was Eli's rookie year because he didn't want anybody comparing their spirals. And he was on point that year. But, Arch Manning, man, bravo, all the pressure. I just think it's amazing, even if you just look at that class of 2023 high school quarterbacks. You have Nico Aleava. And Eli Holstein. I don't know if y'all saw the game for Pittsburgh. He's the transfer quarterback from Alabama. He pulled the reverse Joe Namath.
How would they kiss you?
Going from Alabama to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So he looks pretty good. 3 straight 300-yard games in his first 3 collegiate starts, throwing 3 touchdowns in each game.
That was a big
win. Yeah,
it's like a big win.
I think based off the way they used to play football back when Dan Marino was there, he'll probably break his all-time passing record by next week. But we'll see. But I think that's going to be one of these classes where you're going to see all these young quarterbacks, all these 6'2", 200-pound guys, your Miller Mosses, your Garrett Nussmeyers, your Quinn Ewers, your Shadors. They're going to the league even if they have an extra year left because these 6'4", 6'5" guys like Arch are coming. And guess what? They're going to get drafted over you every single draft year. So go ahead and run. Go run for it because y'all ain't going over these guys. But Arch Manning, you the man, dog. He's probably the first man to ever win a Heisman, is possibly in his future. Let's talk a little bit more college football because something happened that hasn't happened in a very long time in Texas Longhorn football.
Yeah.
The Longhorns ranked number one. Is it the first time since? Yeah, Colt McCoy.
Yeah.
Colt McCoy, he did his thing for a while because they were number 1 team that year, and we thought we were going to win a championship until Marcel Darius, hurt my man's collarbone, and we saw a lot of Garrett Gilbert.
I just think, as this season's being the first time for the 12-team playoff, these rankings, I feel like these rankings are more accurate than years prior. There's always these teams that they're waiting on them to finish out their schedules before they move them up that much. And I feel like with the Texas schedule and what they've done so far, they're exactly where they should be.
Yeah, and to me,
and the SEC is pissed about it.
Whatever. Here's what's going to happen. Bye weeks this week for Alabama and Georgia, right? And then they meet up on the 28th. The winner of that game is the new number one team in the country. So Texas, that's cool. Y'all going to be number one for 2 weeks. And then as soon as that game gets played, the winner of that game jumps to number one. And if it's a close enough game, they might even be like 1-3. They might not even drop a team who loses to the number one team because it's the SEC.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, oh man, that was a tough game. It was a tough game. Yeah, unless the road team wins, then they'll be the outright number one. But
yeah, I mean, really, their only weaknesses right now might be some defense here and there, but
they've kind of reloaded. They've been reloading the last few years.
They look like Sarkisian has set them up to be the new Alabama. He has a 3 year.
I think you could say that Saban set him up to be the.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like the coaching tree is there. Sark's got the 3 year run up. He's got his backup quarterback. Right. He's got all the weapons. The transfer portal is his best friend, and it doesn't hurt that your collective has a ton of money. I believe Arch is getting $300,000 a loan from the collective. So he'll probably renegotiate that if they expect him. Well, hey, that's Texas A&M created that, by the way. Anyways, cheaters. But
we started with the network.
Well, yeah. I mean, we also started one before the collective was invented. The Longhorns they invented like a charity. They just got a specific tax ID.
Yeah.
So
the charity, the collective. Yeah. What are these organizations?
The commission.
This is what college football is. Actually, if Quinn Ewers does finish this season out, and say they do great, even if they win it all,
he's got to go.
And unless you just pay Manning more money to stick around.
No, he's not going to.
And why wouldn't Quinn Ewers go if they win the whole thing?
He's gonna go.
If he doesn't finish the season, he wants to be a top 10 draft pick, right?
If they win the whole thing, he would be
this year. He could have left last year, and I bet you Sark talked him out of it.
Yeah, because he's like, I don't see you going in the first round until you get bigger.
Plus,
get more
he needed the bridge quarterback before Manning got there.
The bridge is over. The bridge is over. Bye-bye.
He wanted to guarantee that he has a Heisman Trophy quarterback whenever he steps into that starting.
Yeah, he's creating the exact same Saban things. If you can prove that you come to my school, we'll get you in the NFL. That's what it's all about, right?
And that's why that's why A&M had that success when they went to the SEC, because it was really just about. It's not about our fandom and what we root for growing up, because at the end of the day, whenever you're 17, 18 years old making that decision to go play at Texas or A&M, if there's somebody's like, hey, you want to go to AAA right now or you want to go to AA? It's like, I think I'll get more looks at AAA. You know what I'm saying? Or rookie ball or AA.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Let me look at it more like that. More like that. Because, the SEC, that's AA. Everything else, that's high A ball, rookie ball. So it's like to skip a step, because at Vanderbilt, you're still playing against Alabama. You're still playing against LSU. So nobody's ever going to question the competition you went up against. Now you're going to have to lose for a lot of years.
Yeah.
That ain't fun. But some people do it. So the one question I do want to ask, with all the Arch Manning hype going on, I've been hoping a little bit. So will Quinn Ewers finish the season as the starter for the Texas Longhorns?
I mean, I think if he's 100% healthy, they're gonna honor that and let him play. But I do feel like this is a game management, a load management time where you're going against non-conference teams. You have an injury that can't be visibly seen, right? You can't notice a limp and stuff like that. So this could be a manufactured injury to give Manning some playing time as he needs it. But I think if Quinn's ready to roll and you're going to finish the season out and you win the conference, you go into the playoffs, you let that guy go.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's what Sark is going to have to do to make his program look like the honorable respectable program that he really wants it to be, just like Nick Saban did.
Yeah. So just like Nick Saban, close championship game, he's getting benched just like Jalen Hurts got benched.
That will happen.
And that will be a Tua situation.
Yeah.
Ryan Wingo, crowd goes
And there's
wild.
nothing wrong with
Texas
that.
wins, Texas wins, Texas wins. Or it happens in the Oklahoma game. Or it happens in the A&M game.
See, to be honest with you, the first thing I thought of was like a Texas OU game like they did with
Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams
Yeah.
is a situation like that. It's like, I think he could finish the season as a starting quarterback. He's got to be perfect.
Yeah.
The moment they get in trouble and Arch comes in and saves the day, what happens?
And because to me, I can think about similar situations back in the day. I remember when I was living in Bowling Green, Josh Harris was the quarterback for the Falcons back in the day, and Omar Jacobs was our redshirt freshman, a hot recruit out of Florida. You know, Josh comes out of a game, just because we're beating up on some mid-major team. Omar comes and throws 3 touchdowns in like 2 quarters, in like a quarter and a half. But pretty much what happened, I think Urban Meyer was the coach back then. He was like, yeah, that's cool. Now we know we have a backup, and we never really saw Omar again.
Never saw him again.
You know, and then, but then also it was a similar situation at Florida. Whenever Tim Tebow was, Tebow mania started before he was even a starter. Because they still had Chris Leak, and they were still successful with Chris Leak, and then Tebow came off the bench to do his little jump passes and all that stuff. But the one thing I will say is, that just means that Urban Meyer won't do that to you in a season. Any other coach will. Especially
you can trust him.
Especially she's like, you think I pay him $300,000 to not play? Let's go. Let's go.
Hey, they might set up a trade block a few years from now. We'll see.
Hey, to me, like I said before, I bet you that if Mike Elko could have traded Connor Wegman for Riley Leonard,
absolutely,
like right before the season opener, no snaps, no anything, he would have done it.